History does not always change with explosions. Sometimes it changes with soap. September 12th, 1945, the San Francisco Bay is wrapped in gray fog, so thick it feels alive that a transport ship cuts through the mist like a ghost returning from a dead war. On its deck stands 247 Japanese women. They are prisoners of war. Their uniforms hang loose from shrinking bodies. Their boots don't match. Some still carry dirt from battlefields that no longer matter. Among them is a 22-year-old nurse from Osaka. Her name is Ko. She grips the cold rail and stares into the fog, waiting for monsters. She was taught Americans were beasts. She was taught captivity meant torture. She was taught mercy did not exist on the enemy's side. Then the ship docks. No screams, NO rifles raised and angered at NO cages. Instead, a soldier hands her a towel. Another points toward warm showers. A third smiles awkwardly. Ko does not move, because what terrifies her most is not cruelty, that IT is kind. That night, when hot water touches her scalp for the first time in years, she begins to cry, not from pain, but because in the rising steam, the story she believed all her life begin to dissolve. And somewhere in the fog of a foreign land, a young woman is about to face the most dangerous enemy she has ever known. The truth, by 1945, the world was exhausted. Germany has fallen. Japan is burning. Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, cities reduced to ash by relentless bombing. Families starve. Children dig through ruins for rice grains. And across Asia and the Pacific, Japanese forces collapse under Allied advance. But not all soldiers are men. Thousands of Japanese women serve the empire. Nurses, clerks, radio operators, translators. They were told their duty was sacred. They were told surrender was shame worse than death. Propaganda shaped them from childhood. Americans were portrayed as animals. Cruel, immoral, savage. Capture meant humiliation, or worse. So when Japan announced surrender on August 15th, 1945, many women did not feel relief. They felt terror. In occupied zones and rear bases, Allied forces processed enemy personnel under the Geneva Convention that included Japanese women found in military roles. Some surrendered willingly. Some were captured in chaos. All arrived carrying the same fear. Ko had been a nurse near Okinawa. She treated burns from flamethrowers. She cleaned blood from boys younger than her brother. When her unit collapsed, she expected death. Instead, she was marched, registered, and shipped across the ocean. Now she stands in America. She looks at the Golden Gate Bridge rising from fog, like a myth-a structure untouched by war. To her, it feels like standing before another planet. The camp officers follow strict rules. No abuse and no humiliation. Proper food, medical care. To the Americans, this is policy. To the prisoners, it is impossible. This story is not about generals. That IT is not about tanks or treaties. It is about what happens when fear meets reality, and which one survives. The first shock is water. Hot water. Ko steps in the shower trembling, convinced it is a trick. The steam fogs the air. The floor is clean. The walls are white. She touches the handle like it might bite her. Then warm water pours over her head. She gasps. She hasn't felt heat without fire in years. Soap is placed in her hand. IT smells like flowers. She stares at it. Flowers are not part of war. As she washes, dirt turns the water gray. Years of marching, hiding, surviving, sliding down the drain. She feels smaller, lighter, and somehow guilty. Around her, other women cry quietly. Some laugh hysterically. Some stare at their hands like strangers. Afterward, they are given clean clothes. In the mess hall, long tables wait with real plates. Bread, meat, soup. The smell alone makes my knees shake. Many women refuse to eat at first. They whisper, "It's poison. It's a test." They want us weak. Ko lifts a spoon but cannot bring it to her mouth. Then a woman beside her, older, with gray in her hair, eats. Nothing happens. The woman's shoulders relax. Her eyes fill with tears. One by one, they eat. That night, Ko lies awake. Her stomach is full. Her body is warm. But her mind is in chaos. She thinks, if they are monsters, why am I alive? If they're evil, why do they treat me better than my own army did at the end? The next day, they are allowed time to rest. They find a room with mirrors, real mirrors, not broken glass, not polished metal. Mirrors. Ko stand before one. She does not recognize the woman looking back. Her cheeks are fuller. Her eyes are clearer. Her hair, clean and loose, frames a face that looks alive. She touches a glass. The reflection touches her back. This is a recurring terror, not being broken by the enemy, but being healed by them. The mirror becomes dangerous because it does not show what Ko expects. She expects to see shame. She expects to see defeat. She expects to see someone unworthy of honor. Instead, she sees someone human. That night, she cannot sleep. Her thoughts attack her. If my family saw me now, clean, safe, would they hate me? If I survive, am I a traitor? If the enemy is kind, what does that make my suffering mean? The next day, the women gather quietly. Whispers fill the room. They smiled at me today. They gave me more bread. They asked my name. Some are angry. Some are confused. Some are terrified. An older woman says, "We must not forget who we are." Another answers, "But who are we now?" Ko stands. Her legs shake. She looks at the women who shared bombs, hunger, fear. Then she looks at the mirror behind them. She says softly, "I thought the enemy would destroy me, but I am healthier here than I was at home." Silence. Her voice cracks. "I don't know what that means, but I know we were lied to." Some women gasp. One whispers, "You shame us." Ko bows her head. "I am ashamed, but not because they're kind. I am ashamed because hatred made me blind." Tears slid down her face. "I still love Japan, but loving my country does not mean hating the truth." The room breaks. Some cry. Some turn away. Some kneel in silent grief. An older woman speaks. "If we accept this kindness, are we betraying the dead?" Ko answers, "If we reject it, we betray the living." That is a decision. Not written, not announced, but I felt they will not reject humanity. Not because it is easy, but because denying it costs more. They begin to accept food openly that Tio speak with guards that Tio learn names. Not as allies, not as friends, but as human beings who refuse to live inside lies. This is leadership, not with commands, but with courage to face reflection, not with power, but with truth. The mirror no longer terrifies Ko. It reminds her, survival is not dishonor. Truth is not betrayal, and humanity is not the enemy. Life becomes routine. Breakfast at 6:30, that work details, letters aloud. Some women write home, others cannot. Some laugh again, others never stop mourning. An American guard brings extra bread and says, awkwardly, "For tomorrow." They stare at him like he is unreal. One woman whispers, "How do you hate someone who feeds you?" Music comes from a gramophone one evening. Glenn Miller drifts across the camp. No one understands the words, but everyone understands the feeling. For a moment, war feels far away. Still, guilt remains. Some women dream of bombed cities. Some dream of children left behind. Some dream of mirrors that will not let them lie. Ko writes in a small notebook, "I am safe where I thought I would die, and I am afraid of what that means." When they are eventually repatriated, they carry more than clothes. They carry confusion. They carry gratitude. They carry a truth that will not fit easily into old stories. External captivity ended. Internal captivity did not, but it cracked. And once a lie is cracked, it can never fully heal. This is not a story about victory. It is a story about vision. The women did not command armies. They did not shape borders. They faced something harder. The mirror. They face what happens when fear collapses under truth, when propaganda dissolves in hot water and simple kindness, when the enemy looks back at you with a human face. True leadership is not always loud. Sometimes it is a trembling voice that says, "We were wrong." Sometimes it is the courage to look at your reflection and accept what you see. Wars end with treaties, but hatred ends only when someone dares to stop believing it. And on a fog-covered day in 1945, when Japanese women let their hair down in a foreign land, history shifted. Not with bombs, not with speeches, but with soap, mirrors, and the terrifying power of truth.